I'm supposed to be doing this recipe on my own, but he wants to play with Daddy. So that is Christmas, right? Always juggling, always hands full. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. All you need is Camembert, fresh rosemary, strong bread flour, garlic, and dried yeast. So this is baby River, and he's the youngest one of the Oliver clan. So we're going to make a Christmas tree-shaped tear and share bread that you can dip in Camembert, and people are going to go mad for it. It's so simple, you can even do it with one hand. So I'm going to do it all in here, less washing up. I'm going to put 800 grams of strong flour. Of course, you can do it by hand in a bowl. I have a sachet of yeast. They're always 7 grams. A nice pinch of salt. Then I'm going to add about 500 millilitres of warm water. Put the lid on and just pulse it. And it will bring the dough together, almost like you're kneading it by hand. Woo! Woo! We now have a basic white dough. Can you see it's humid here? That's the perfect environment with the heat of the engine for it to prove. So let that double in size, so about 40 minutes, and I'll come back and show you what to do next. So the idea was I'd wear him out and I'd be back on my own, but I've actually gained an extra child. This is Petal. Get some greaseproof paper, dust with some flour, and then what I can do is start to stencil a Christmas tree. Forming a template to put our little dough balls in. In here, in the mixer, it's doubled in size. So just a little flour here. You ready for this?
Ready this?
And I want about 30 edible baubles. Petal's going to help me. Just put your hand around like that, and then you get a nice, tight little ball, and I'm going to place this ball onto my Christmas tree here. But you'll get the idea. So, River, what's this?
Glallywall.
A glallywall. So we're going to take the glallywall, cheese, and what I'm going to do is take the frame and I'm going to place it here as our guide. So, Petal, do 2 at once, and I need you to go like that, really fast.
I can't.
Go on, you can do it. Look, we're all going fast. Look, really fast, really fast. Stay there. Happy Christmas, everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. Petal's done a fine job of placing this within the shape of the stencil. Thank you, Petal. Amazing. The fire engine has gone across the kitchen. The cheese is now on the floor. We're now going to let this double for 1 hour, so you get a spongy bread, and then we'll cook it. Merry Christmas.
Daddy, go on.
So the bread's proved for about an hour, and I've managed to save the cheese. I'm using Camembert, which is perfect for this dish as it comes in its very own box. Now, on the cheese front, there's a little preparation that I want to do to make it the most incredible, cheesy lava. Think fondue. Put the tip of your knife just into it like that. What we'll do is just quickly remove that little skin. Get yourself 2 or 3 fat cloves of garlic and make it nice and fine. And what we're going to do is just dress this garlic in a little oil. We know that garlic and bread works. Best friends, best friends. But with the oozy, gorgeous cheese, this is going to be nuts. I'm happy. And then we've got a little bit of rosemary, a nice bit of olive oil. Brilliant, brilliant flavours. Let's have a look at our Christmas tree. Ha ha. So the yeast has kicked into action and it's doubled the little buns in size. Then I can take one of these Camembert and put it back in the box from whence it came. Of course, when we completely destroy that Camembert and it's gone, but we still got buns, we can put another one back in its box and we can replace it. For our final flourish, dot sprigs of rosemary all over your tree. So look at that, come on, Merry Christmas. I am childishly proud of that. It goes in the oven for half an hour at 180 degrees Celsius, which is 350 Fahrenheit. Put it in the oven, and then also, don't forget your second one. We can pop that at the bottom, leave it for half an hour, and people are gonna love it. Oh, you little beauty. Ho, 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 ho. It is blipping away, and it is gorgeous. Wowzers. And the joy of this recipe is there's no dishing up. Let it cool and serve. Just go and steal a little Christmas decoration. Pop it in there like that. So look, enough talking. Let's just grab one, hot and steamy, and let's just dive. Oh my Lord. Oh. Ooh. What could be more indulgent than bread dipped in melted cheese? A big show-off party bread that's as easy as it is impressive. The perfect treat for when you're having a cheeky Christmas drink with family and friends. What do we all want at Christmas? We want things that are special, delicious, elegant, luxurious. Yes, we want that. But also, what if it could be easy? Really easy. Let me show you a dish, which could be a starter or even a dip for a buffet. This is a great little thing to do at Christmas. It's a smoked salmon and seafood pate. People go nuts for it. Make this the day before, keep it in the fridge, and it's out the way. So this is all done to sort of regular sizes of punnets of seafood you can get in any old supermarket. So let's do it. It's so simple. Loads of people have prawns at Christmas. Smoked salmon, same again. And then we're going to kind of, take it up a notch with some lovely white crab meat. So prawns, 150 grams onto a board like that. Then smoked salmon, 150 grams. Then 150 grams of white crab meat. Again, just dunk, 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 super easy. It's so fast, I can do it in the time it takes to make some toast. Which also means that you can have a cheeky little taste. Now chop this up and kind of create a nice rustic crude pate. Now you could just chuck it in a food processor and have a very silky smooth pate, delicious. But you could also do it like this. So literally in 30 seconds, run your knife through it. Really, really simple. And we're gonna mix it up. We're almost gonna dress it to turn it into that beautiful pate. And flavour it with the zest and the juice of a whole lemon. Now, cream cheese. One regular pot, 280 grams. So easy, so no weigh in, no mucking about. For me, this kind of recipe at Christmas is perfect, right? Because it feels luxurious. It feels like you've really gone to town and spoilt people, but it's pot, 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 mix, delicious. Let's just turn the toast. So what I want to do now is just put a little pinch of cayenne, gives that element of heat. You don't want it hot, but just kind of like a question mark. And then a total curveball for us Brits. This is salmon eggs, or salmon roe. It pops and it's sweet and it's delicious. And absolutely you can get these in supermarkets all around the country. And then get some dill and just roughly chop it. Have a taste. I might adjust it with a little lemon juice. So good. You don't need any seasoning from salt because the prawns and the salmon are nice and salty. My toast, which I'm racing against, is nearly done, getting crispy. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can knock up a tasty garnish. Think pickled onions, right? So lovely, fresh seafood. And then I've just finely chopped a red onion, covered it in a little white wine vinegar and a pinch of salt and sugar. And that is brilliant, brilliant on the side of this. Right, I want to taste it. So I'll show you how to serve it up on the day. So get yourself 2 nice, large tablespoons and just run 1 spoon off another. And then let's garnish it up. I'll take those beautiful, quick pickled onions, celery, cress, a little pinch of the cayenne, a little olive oil. And that is it, done. Just in the time it takes to griddle some toast. In seconds, delicious starter. And it looks like you've put loads of work in, and you haven't, because it's so easy. Nice extra virgin olive oil on your ciabatta, and then cut it into soldiers. A very delicious, very elegant and versatile dish that you can have in your fridge, ready and raring to go. Crunchy, soft, salty, tangy, beautiful. I'm going to show you a recipe that I hope will be delicious and perfect for this festive time of year when you're having gatherings, cocktail parties, and friends and family around. So my team have asked me, can I take my new cookbook, 5 Ingredients Mediterranean, and can it canapé? Can I take a dish and turn it into a little handheld mouthful of deliciousness? So the first recipe that I'm going to do is potato bombas, which was a recipe inspired by a trip to Spain. It's basically a potato cake with manchego that's oozing through it. It's held together with a little egg. It's got a crunchy outside from the breadcrumbs, and we're serving that on a nice little spiced tomato sauce. So let's see if this, which is normally bigger, can canapé. So, first job, I've got 3 jacket potatoes, 1 kilo. Take yourself a little fork, give it a little prick, just a couple of times. These can go into the oven for an hour, or you can put it in a microwave for around about 30 minutes. So once the potatoes are nice and cooked and soft, what we're gonna do is just tear them open. And I'm just gonna use a little fork to mash the potato out of the skin. Also, you don't have to throw away that skin. If you just let those cool down and pop these in the fridge, you can roast those up. You can toss those with a little olive oil, salt and pepper, even spice it up. Delicious. And a lot of the vitamin C is in the skin, so don't waste these little beauties. So a nice little seasoning of sea salt goes in. We want to be generous with black pepper, and we're going to use a little egg yolk to bind it and enrichen it, okay? So tap your eggs here and put the whites into a little dish. We're not going to waste the whites. We'll save up different batches of egg whites until you've got enough for a nice little pavlova or meringue, and then that goes in there like that. So I've got the yolks in here, whites that I'll put into a bag over here, and then we've got the cheese. Now, as this inspiration came from Spain, a great cheese that most of us can get hold of is Manchego, a really, really fantastic cheese. 150 grams is what you need, so I'll just remove the little skin from the outside, put that to one side. Now, actually, what I'm going to do is instead of grate the cheese, which you can do, I'm going to slice it and dice it. So I'm just going to run the knife through it quite roughly, like that. Put that in to your potatoes here. The egg yolk will enrichen the potatoes, give it a nicer colour, and also help to bind it so it holds together beautifully. This, of course, becomes the base for what is in the book, a nice little fritter, almost like a kind of fish cake size. But we're gonna canapé it, so we're gonna go smaller when we do it now. So just put it up the edge of the bowl like this. That will help it cool down really quickly. Let's just talk about breadcrumbs. So get yourself some nice breadcrumbs, you know, a couple of good handfuls in there, get it into a bowl. And then I've got a nice arrabbiata sauce here. So let's put that in a pan and bring that up to a simmer. So how big do we want our little canapés to be? About that kind of size, big enough to go in your mouth. That's about right, okay? So roll it into a little ball and then just take it off your hands into these breadcrumbs. So you can put that around like that, give it a nice little hug, and that will be fantastic. Let's get a few of those done. So I'm quite excited about this challenge, Can It Canapé? It's making me think about a lot of the dishes that I had in this beautiful book, and can you make it miniature? You can see how easy that was. It was actually really good fun. Get some kids to help you if you've got little ones running around. When you're heating oil, you want to use a thermometer. 170 degrees is what I'm looking for. If you haven't got a thermometer, what you can do is just put like a little bit of potato skin in the oil. And as soon as that starts to fry and float, you know that you're in a good kind of 160, 170 degrees. So look, I'm happy with that temperature. So I'm going to remove, actually let's not remove that bit of skin because it's probably going to be quite delicious. So let's go in with our very first bombas. Carefully plop it into the oil. You want to let these just fry until they're nice and golden on all sides. They take about 5 minutes normally, depending on the exact temperature of your oil, but you want them to be golden and delicious all around.
If you're enjoying this, then please click the like button and give us some love, and don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and remember to turn on that notification bell so you know what's happening. Now, back to the recipe.
So these have had about 5 minutes and they're getting nice and golden, just gently turning them over with a slotted spoon. You can see some of that manchego starting to escape out, which is quite delicious. So the oozability factor is going to be very high in this recipe. I'm going to take a nice little bowl, something that you can take around your guests. Would you like some? Yes, please. We're going to put some of our lovely spiced sauce in there. Of course, you can make it as hot as you want it, but this is a nice medium heat. Let's put half of that sauce in there. So let's just lay out a little clean tea towel like that, and we'll drain these bombas nice and carefully like that. See, look at that sizzle, and just grate a little bit over the top here. Look at that. Fantastic. Can it canopy? Well, I think the answer is yes. Time to try one. It's going to be hot, so I would recommend letting this cool down a little bit. Let your friends have a nice drink of something cold and delicious. And then we're going to swoop around with this. Imagine coming to a party and that gets offered up. You're going to be pretty happy, aren't you? Very, very nice. It looks absolutely incredible. So from those little pates, which was like a kind of tapas, to this incredible little canapé. Let's have a little taste and see what they're like. And rip it open. Whoa. Should we have a little dip into the tomato sauce? Let's go. The steam coming off it tells you that it's very hot. The same temperature as the center of the earth. I better try it for you. Mmm. Oh yeah. Spicy, sweet, crunchy. You got that ooze of the Manchego. Love Manchego. So guys, what are you waiting for? Why don't you go through my book, 5 Ingredients Mediterranean. Pick any old recipe, see if you can canapé it. And if you do, hashtag me in it and I'll pick out my very favorite ones. But this is a great little game. Let's do more of these. I approve of this idea from my team. This is brilliant. Can it canapé? I'd say yes, very much so. If you want to do something incredible this Christmas that's going to blow people's minds, then let me show you the wonderful world of cured gravlax of salmon with beautiful beetroot, horseradish, lemon and dill, rye bread scones. It's really, really delicious. Here we have a beautiful, sustainable fillet of salmon. It's been pin-boned and it's about 1.5 kilos, give or take. So look, we're going to make a cure to preserve the fish. Here we've got 400 grams of rock salt. Then we've got 200 grams of brown sugar. The salt and the sugar will draw out the moisture from the fish. You also kind of change the structure, the texture, and the salt and sugar, of course, makes it last longer. So you can do this a week before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. We're going to make this work for you, and it's going to be incredible. We have the ability now to flavour that cure. I'm going to take a little lemon zest, and I'll just grate into the salt. Horseradish. If you've never seen it before, it's an incredible root vegetable. Now, this is hot, and it's fragrant, and it's really, really good with fish. And then for a slight curveball, beetroot. The colour will permeate the outside of the salmon, and it will create something that is so classy, and all it is grating up a beetroot. So at this stage, we're going to go in with some vodka. 1 bubbles, 2 bubbles, 3. That's about 3 shots. Mix it up, and then we just rub it all over the salmon, both sides. You can see the salt and the sugar now pulling the moisture out of the fish and creating like this little beetroot juice brine, okay? That's what's going to do the magic. Turn it so it's flesh side down, so it sits in all that lovely brine, and I'll just wrap it up, pop it in the fridge for 1.5 days and let the fridge do all the hard work for you. Have a little look at this. Let's open the Christmas present. Metallic, bauble red amazingness. So that salmon is now cured, and everything that you put on it has done its work. So just brush it off. And then you start thinking about adding another layer of flavour. Dill. So dill is a fantastic herb. Finely chop it, and it will stick to it. Now look at this colour. It's got blimmin' Christmas written all over it. This is going to be a starter like you've never had before. Wrap this really well, and then that can sit in the fridge, and then at any point we can serve this up and have an amazing starter for your friends, your guests, ready to go. Time to make the most incredible Christmas scones. 1 regular tub of yogurt, 500 grams. And this tub is now your measure. You don't need any scales at all. That's the kind of recipe we want at Christmas. So, in this tub, we're going to go in with the rye flour. Then another tub of your self-raising flour. Add 1 lovely free-range egg, pinch of salt, with a teaspoon of honey, and then 1 heaped teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. And that'll give it that little extra lift Mix it up and make the easiest scone dish ever. So move it around and then just try and mop up all the flour from that bowl. Just dust a surface with a little bit of that flour. So press out that dough to about 1 inch thick. Get yourself a couple of baking trays like that with olive oil. Get yourself a little 2-inch cutter, put it in some flour, cut it out. Now the great news, guys, is you can rattle this out the day before. You can put it in the fridge, and when your guests arrive on Christmas Day and you're like 20 minutes away from eating your starter, that's when you take them out of the fridge and bang them in the oven. I'm gonna take another egg and I wanna just egg wash the top of our scones. Over that, some regular rolled oats. These will now go in the oven at 190 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes until golden and puffed up. Gorgeous.
Just enough time to leave something out for the big fella.
Oh, look at those. Absolutely beautiful. Every single one of them. Enough talking, let's get on with the fun bit. So it's very simple. Go down to the skin and then just angle your knife away. And look at that, look at the colour. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, you can see where the beetroot and the sugar and the salt has penetrated the top of that salmon. Let's plate one portion up.
Season it up with some creme fraiche and grated horseradish and dollop it over the salmon.
Hot and really gonna go up your hooter. Take a pinch of cress and just bang it right there. Wedge a lemon, little pinch of pepper on the horseradish, olive oil. Take a nice hot scone, get yourself a little bit of butter.
And serve it up with a cheeky shot of Christmas-infused vodka. Think mulled wine spices, citrus zest and herbs steeped in vodka for a week.
Let's have a little try. Oh, look at that, come on. Oh, wow. It's like a little mouthful of heaven. Sweet, red, cured salmon. Hot, malty, gorgeous scones. Get a nice old fillet of salmon and get curing. Merry Christmas.